Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. I just posted this video of the guest design team project I did for Creative Paper Artisan, and I've had some interest in having me show you all how I put all the envelopes together. This one was a quickie project. Normally I would have showed you that construction, but I was kind of in a rush with projects. So I'm going to show you how I assemble all these envelopes together, and then we'll come back in the second video and we will decorate. There might be 3 videos. We might do construction, putting all the panels on, and then come back and decorate it. We will see how it goes if you guys want to see the whole process. So let's go ahead and get going. Thank you guys on the channel for the feedback. It's really helpful for me to know what different people want. Some people already know how to do that, and so they're not necessarily as inclined, but I want to be here to provide whatever is useful and helpful for anyone. So I thought we would go ahead and do that today and use these papers. Are from Daisy Isaac at French Cottage Shabby Etsy. I'm kind of an ambassador for her work currently, so I'm not going to show you all of them, but absolutely phenomenal digitals. These are her postcards. This is all Christmas related. So I think we'll use this to make this envelope journal. Look at this preciousness. Oh my goodness, look at it. Oh, this is going to be perfect for the tall envelopes that we have. That's going to be epic. Now, none of these are printed on the back side, which is not necessarily important for this envelope journal, but it can be for the other ephemera bits. So this is what we're going to be using. So you'll get to see more of that in the next video. So what I do is I like to cut all the pieces, all the panels off camera, just because it is a very time-consuming process. But basically is all I do. Let me just say, for instance here, I took this paper. Let me get one that's a full page here or so, like this one. So if I was going to use this page, I would cut off my white borders. I just place it up here. I leave about a 1/16 of an inch of the brown showing, and then I just make a pencil line, and I'm good. So I'm not a big measurer, so that's how I roll. So let's get going. So I did add an extra envelope. That one only had 11 envelopes. I'm not sure how I ended up with 11. But I've got 12 here. So that means if you've got 12, then that means you've got 24 sides, which is really, really epic. So I've got 2 that are this side. So 1, 2, and let me tell you the measurements of this. Again, it's not really necessary for you to follow the sizing. You can use whatever you have. This one's 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So let me go ahead and write that on here. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'll just write on both of these, and then you guys can see, and you can make a note if that's helpful to you. And then these ones are our tinies, and they are fun. So 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So 2 3/4 by 4. 2 3/4 by 4, and we will begin labeling them with numbers when we start gluing them together. And it's really important to glue them together first. When I first started doing these, I wasn't doing that, and I ended up with making a lot of mistakes. So I highly suggest that you glue them all together first. This one measures 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And again, there's 2 of those. And then there's 2 of our tall ones. And I'm curious if those, let me just grab these real quick and see if they'd fit. They might fit. This would be so epic. Daisy, did you do this for me? Not quite. Not quite, unless I included that top bit. See how she's got the outside edge here is out further. That would probably work, but that's going to be so cool. Okay, so this one measures 3 7/8. I'm not going to remember that. It's an odd measurement. 3 7/8 by Oh, this one I do have to cut down, so we will talk about that here as we go, and that's one of the reasons why I don't use the actual measurements of the envelope, because you're going to take some of the landscape off when you open a side or the top, or in this case I have to shorten this. So this is 8 7/8. So 3 7/8 by 8 7/8. We'll do the same on this one. 3 7/8 by 8 7/8. And then these ones, that's not the same size, is it? Oh, it is. What? How did I manage that? Okay, well, we're going to go with it. That's what I've got now. So those were 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and that is okay. It doesn't, they don't all have to be different. So, and I'll talk with you a little bit about, sometimes when I make an envelope journal, I will create an extra score line, but I didn't have any trouble with that one. And as you can see, it actually lays really nice. It's a chunky monkey, but it's not like horrible. Like, I don't think we need any extra score lines. So I'm going to keep this nice and simple for everyone. And I believe this one has to be cut down too, but we will see. So 5 3/4 by, maybe I didn't cut this, 8 3/4. Let's see what our biggest envelope is in the real thing here. So for instance, this one is, I think I did leave the full length. Yeah, I did. That's why. Oh, and I didn't go back and put that one on there. Goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. I need to go back and put a strip there. I thought I had done that on all of them. Goodness gracious. Okay. That's all right. So 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. So 8 3/4. So we're going to sort of follow what I did on the other one. So we're going to start with these bigger ones, and basically what you're going to do is you want to glue these two so that they are attached. So I think we'll glue this one to this one with this flap out here, because I had it going the opposite direction. So let me think, it's been a bit since I did this. So if you did it like this, everything would be opening in the same way, kind of like a book. But if you do it opposite, it's going to be able to flip this way, which is what we want with this project. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this flap to this base. And I apologize, now my writing is upside down, but that's okay. Okay, so, and I like to use fabric tack because it gives me lots of time to move things around. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that on there just by kind of folding that back. And then I like to pick it up and see if everything's looking straight. Okay, like that. That looks really, really good. Okay, so now we've got these going the different direction. So let's go ahead and go with one of these. So when I have the ones that are like this, I like to cut off some of that excess because it is not needed, and we will number these after we get them glued, in case I forgot to mention that. I apologize if that's repetitive. So that's that. So now we can actually cut, do we want to cut this flap off or just attach this like that? Okay, we want it to open like that. So if we want it to continue to go that direction, we would go like this, but that's not really going to work. So what did I do? What did I do? How about we go over here? The thing is there's no real right or wrong about this. So you can go like that. That's a great way to do that one. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the back of this flap. I mean, there's literally no way to mess this up, guys. So please don't be afraid. You don't have to have new envelopes. You don't have to do craft envelopes. You can do anything that you like. Anything that you have. You can use junk mail envelopes. I'm not a huge fan of junk mail envelopes for this project because they're so thin that they can need some extra stability. So now the part that gets tricky as you move along is you have to decide how you're going to attach other things to this, because you may need to cut this open, you may need to cut this open in order to do that. So let me let's go ahead and go with this one too, so that we kind of go in the same vein. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to go ahead and close that. I think that's what I did before, is I closed that. So let's do that. So you want to be careful in this case that you don't get glue in here, because otherwise you will affect your pocket, because we'll probably slit the top open on this one, which can be done here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and just put a little bit of glue right here and right here. It doesn't have to be super secure or anything. It's just to hold that flap closed. Okay. And actually, I think what I'll do is, I should have probably been cutting these open as I went. So let's decide. I think I want the top open on this one. So let's go ahead and do that. You know what? No, I'm not going to break the rhythm here. So it doesn't matter, again, when you open those up. Just do it whenever you feel ready to do it. So now we've got this one, so we want to go ahead and attach this one on here. So that's going to go like that, which is how we get that flippy flop look, which I absolutely love. So we're going to go ahead and glue this one. I should have just did this for that other video. I just did a two-parter, but I was feeling a little bit stressed with all the things that I have on my plate, things that I'm trying to accomplish on the channel and with my own projects. So that's why I didn't. So, and then you can go up or down. They don't have to be even. So we're going to move this one up a little bit on that envelope. Okay. So then I'm going to turn this so that I can really give that a good press. Okay. So now we've got this dealio going on. Super, super cool kind of accordion look. So now the difference is I have this same size envelope. So I need to think about how I want to do that here, because I tend to go largest and then smaller, smaller, smaller. So let's go ahead and think about this. This could actually go right here. I apologize, that writing is going to be upside down, as I mentioned, but it can go over there, not a problem. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, we've got this little flippy floppy bit. It goes actually this way. Okay, so you can find a side that you want to go ahead and add another envelope here, which, what was I just doing? Right here. So this is our main center spine area. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on here, and I'm going to move it lower on the envelope. So I'm just going to open this up, and it helps if you kind of do this, kind of keep things in line, in position, so that you don't get confused, which I often, the first few I did, oh my goodness, it was a disaster. And I was doing them on camera, so that's even worse. So, and this is where we get a little bit bulky, because we're going to be wrapping this around 2 envelope edges. So, but it's not a problem. It's just a little bit, it's a little bit odd the way that things, we can actually kind of move that out, because we've got a little bit more to go around there. So let me show you what I mean here. I'm going to scooch that just up. I don't want it quite out that far. And again, with Fabri-Tac, you have the time to do that. So I've left just a little bit of a gap here. Okay, well, not much actually. Goodness gracious, that was not a big deal. There we go, pulling it out a little bit. So you can see you've got the natural score line right here. And so I've just pulled that out a little bit. So I highly recommend you use Fabri-Tac, because you get lots and lots of room. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so we've got that. So let's do the same over here. Or we could actually do kind of a book deal here. Or I have another flip out here. What do you think? Could go like that and have it go up here a little bit. Or you could actually have it coming out like that. I think we'll do that on this one. Not a big deal. Change your mind. Do whatever you fancy. There we go. So we're just going to make this a whole big old little flappy thing, a double flap, which is okay. And then I like to turn it over because I can see more clearly if it's actually even on that top. That's what I want. I want that to be even. So I'm just going to press that out. And so now what you've got is you've got this double flip, which I think is really, really, really cool. So we're not quite straight here. So, but that's the wonkiness of this process, guys, is that you're going over. Whoops, what did I do? That's the already attached. I can't affect that. Okay, so there we go. So now we're here. We've got all of these beautiful flappy flaps. Okay, so now we can move on to our tall envelopes because that's the next size. So these have to be cut down because they are too tall. So, well, they don't actually have to be honest with you. They could stick out the bottom or they could stick out the top. Let's just keep them intact. Let's do that. So on my other one, I had one going down, flipping up, and the other one flipping down. So actually, it's not really hanging over all that much. And by the time we open it, it's not going to be. In fact, this one, I'm going to go ahead and just open, okay? Just because I'm here, I can do it, okay? And we're going to go ahead and put some glue on the underside of this flap. And then I'm just going to kind of put her in the middle if I can. Hope you guys can see that okay. Just like so. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Perfecto. I love it. Okay. So let's find where we would like the other one to go. And again, there's no right or wrong. There, you can't bust this. It's very forgiving. It's a very forgiving process. And as you probably saw in the other video, I did make some mistakes where I completely glued this closed, like I covered the back of the panel rather than gluing just this part, and I lost my pocket. But we had so many tucks in that it wasn't really a problem. So this is on the back side. We're going to slide this one going that way so it flips down. Yeah, I think we'll do a three-parter on this. How about that? We'll do 3 parts. We'll do the construction, and then that way it'll give me an opportunity to share other tips if I feel that they would be helpful. I can share those as we go along. So there we go. And I do again like to go on to the other side and just give that a good press there. Okay. And then, oh, that's lovely. Lovely. Oh, that's got to go. That's got to go like that because are we really, yeah, we're getting the flippy floppy feel. So let's go back to the, let's see where we want something else. On this one, I didn't have anything flipping off that, but I like to have the littler envelopes up front. So we've got 2 of our 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So that can go off of this edge, okay? So let's go ahead and glue that flap. I love doing these envelope journals because it gives you an opportunity to use a lot of kits, kind of in the same season without doing a huge journal. So there's a real bonus in doing a folio project or a envelope journal. So There we go. All right. And then we'll go ahead and have, oh, is that where I wanted that? Yeah, because that's the front. Oh, is that the front? Oh, I'm so confused. Okay. Open, open, open. Yep. Just looked weird. And so we're going to go ahead and grab one of the small envelopes. And you might be concerned that we haven't opened anything, but I promise it's not a big deal. I just I Spy it and cut it with my scissors. You could get your, X-Acto knife or whatever. I don't use those because I cut my finger off, I'm sure. So this one we're going to go ahead and put on the bottom of here and have it be a flip down similar to the other project. So you're just going to glue the back of the flap again. Right. And you could cover these with a lighter paper. I printed all of my digitals from Daisy's shop on 65-pound paper, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'm not going to reprint because I wasn't planning on doing this project with that paper. So I'll just make it work. It's just going to make it a little bit heavier and sturdier, which is not a negative thing. So we're just going to butt that up there. We're getting pretty bulky here. So just going to push that down like so. And then now we need to flip back here to figure out what we want to do with our last two envelopes. So I actually feel like I want to put this next 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 on this one this time, because I'm wondering if I want to just keep this maybe be the front and not have something flipping off of it or flipping off the front of it. So I think we'll put it on here so it goes like this, okay, so that this is just a panel with nothing flipping off of it from the front. So I think I'll do that. So again, glue on the back of the flap. So this is the day after Thanksgiving when I'm doing this. The video just published this morning, and I'm like, you know what? This is all fresh in my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and do this construction video. But I did go shopping with my daughter this morning, and the shopping wasn't the most important part. Like, it was just so nice to just have conversation with her and enjoy her company, and it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed myself. So I think we'll go ahead and put this one on here, okay, like so. So again, glue on the back. So if you were one of the people that was requesting this video, please be sure that you subscribe and you turn on the notifications by clicking the bell, because then you'll be notified when I do the other projects in this series for you. So because this is all for you. And I always appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the suggestions. I want you to tell me what you're looking for and what's helpful. So thank you for that. And I apologize, I don't remember your name right at the moment, but I just replied to your comment. So that's what we have. So if this is the front, it's kind of weird because it's going to flip. Oh, wait a minute. What? This is actually the front, which is fine too. So if this is the front and it opens like this, and it's got these flips, look at those flips. Woo! Flippy, flippy, flippy. Okay, so again, there is no wrong way to do this. Really no wrong way to, you want to just make sure you retain all of these spaces in case you want to make that envelope into a pocket, and then it's going to close up like that, flip, and we've got these flippies and flippies. That's supposed to actually go, maybe we'll have it do that. And that's the other thing you'll find, is it doesn't really matter how it folds up. It's just, you can do it however you want. So let's go ahead and start opening up some of these edges. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the top of this one. So I just take my scissors and I'm just basically taking just a hair's breadth off. Now, there is a benefit to doing this before you glue them, but what happens for me is I do that and then I end up putting the envelope wrong, and then my opening is in the wrong place. So this is just easier for me. Whoops. Now, I don't worry about this because when I go to put papers on, that will all rectify itself. So we're going to go ahead and label these as we go. So this is number 1, and I'm going to write, it has opening at the top, okay? That helps me when I'm creating ephemera, because then I know that I need something that's going to fit this width and it's going to tuck inside. So that is panel 1. We'll call this panel 2. And I don't know, we'll put a pocket on that or something. So I'm not loving how this is. It doesn't matter. So let's just go with it. So I'm going to go ahead, and it doesn't have to go as this unfolds or folds. It doesn't have to go sequentially in number order. The numbers are just so that when you start making your panels, you cut your panel and you put that same number on it, and then you know when you go to glue them on, everything is matching up. So 1, 2, 3, and then we gotta do something with this one. So we'll go ahead and open up this one at the top as well, because we can't open it up on this side because we glued other envelopes to it. So this is a little awkward position, so I apologize. I'm just gonna snip that really quick. And again, if you don't feel like you have a steady hand or straight ability to do that straight, you can certainly use your X-Acto knife or whatever, but I don't really worry about it. That might be a little bit crooked, but again, perfection is not at play. So that is 3, and it has the open at the top. Okay, and then this would be panel 4. Let's just label these so that I get that done. 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, okay, 8, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, let's just go ahead and make this 12. It gets really confusing, guys, so have grace for yourselves. Okay, so 11, 12 was our last one. We'll do 13, 14, 15, 16, oh sorry, I'm off camera, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, 19, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So we should have 24 sides though, right? Because we used, oh, we did we use 12 envelopes? Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, oh goodness, 14? I'm just trying to figure out how many sides we have so that way we've got captured all these numbers. I am so sorry, you guys. I'm supposed to be teaching you, and I am so confused. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Let's just make sure everything has a number. That's the most important part. So we got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, yep, we've got all the numbers on there. 21, 22, 23, 12, 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we've got them all, so I'm not sure why my counting is so awful here and just trying to explain this to you. My apologies. So, and the other thing is this can reverse direction. So this could go like that if you wanted it to. It's going to put a little bit of stress on that. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Now, again, when we start putting papers on, we can completely change the order of how this all lays out. I kind of like the way this looks here, but I think that was our front, right? So you can decide, and I know that if you've never done this before, you guys, it might seem a little bit intimidating, but just know that you can put these on any order you want to. So we're going to go ahead and keep cutting some of these open. I think I want this one to be cut across the top. I don't trust myself with a straight, what do you call that? Straight edge or whatever. I just don't. I'm a little bit clumsy. So that one's going to open at the top. This one can open at the side. So I think we'll do that because we've got the room to do it over here because we don't have anything gluing to it. So let's just slice that open as well. Okay, there we go. So that's open and this is open. And then what do we want to do with this one? So let's see. Well, we have to, I think we have to open these ones at the top because otherwise it's not going to work. But that's going to be tricky because we are the way that I put this together. So I'm just going to stretch this out so I can do that. Move some things out of the way. It's pretty long. And I'm just going to awkwardly try to trim this. I mean, you literally just need a sliver. It's just enough to trim it, to cut it open. Now, I have done other envelope journals where I have actually opened them and then I put an arrow. I point an arrow up if the cut is on the top, the opening is at the top or the side or whatever applies. So please do whatever you feel most confident to do because this is risky. This is hard. I'm making this harder than it needs to be in terms of opening these things. So there we go. Just clip that off right there. Ah, oh goodness, I sliced that. Okay, let's turn her back around here. So we've got that one open and then we've opened both of these on the top. And so again, we don't need to worry about that. That will be rectified when we start putting papers on. We've already got our cut on the bottom on this one. Now, similar to my other one, I didn't make a pocket out of this because I did have things glued to the top. I don't want it opening at the bottom in this case. So this will be probably just a panel. I'll even cover this up and it won't make this a pocket. So I think we'll go with that. And so then we've got, same with this panel. I think we'll just cover that and have this kind of be a main thing where maybe some of the most beautiful focal points. So now we've got this envelope, which we've already cut open. This one is already cut open on the bottom. And then that's our main big envelope. So we're good there. And then, oh, you know what? Some of these I did cut on the side. This one I didn't. I cut both of them at the top, which is fine. So let's go ahead and flip this over and see what else we need to do, or not flip over. Goodness gracious. So we didn't cut this one. So let's go ahead and cut this one. I'm going to do this one on the bottom because I just don't want to fuss with, it would be harder to do that right here. Well, you know what? We could do it and have it be open on this side. Let's do that. It's just a little bit tricky because this is so long. Sorry about the autofocus there, guys. I know that can be frustrating when you're watching, but the camera wants more light here. So just going to trim that right there. Okay. Worked out okay. So now we'll be able to put something in the pocket and it will have room to have it stick out a little bit even. So this one we're going to cut open on this side. And again, it doesn't matter. It's just that you would not want to cut this side open because you've got this envelope glued to it. I'm hoping that that is making sense. It all makes sense in my head, so, but that's kind of a scary place sometimes. So let's just trim that up, open it up. I'm glad that somebody asked for me to do this. It just gives me another opportunity to make an envelope journal using Daisy's kits. So that's going to be really cool. So that's open on the top. And that is it, my friends. That is it. So off camera, what I will do is I will cut all of my panels and we'll come back in video 2. Whoops. See, that is actually, I really kind of like that as the front. And it doesn't matter if the front opens like that. It doesn't matter because everything can be the front. Like both sides can be the front. So sometimes this irritates me. So I'll take a little bit of like white glue and just kind of tack that down just so it doesn't bother me. It's not going to create a problem. So like that. Come on. So I will be back with video 2. I'm not sure what the lineup will look like because I have my Dried Gatherings autumn journal I'm also working on. But because we're already at the end of November, I need to get hustling on that. So I'll be back. I'll have all the panels prepared and measured out, and then we'll start putting them on, and then we'll come back in video 3 and we'll start putting some ephemera in. Generally don't make the ephemera on camera because it's such an elongated process, guys, for a journal like this. So yeah, so that's the profile on that. Really cool. I don't have as many weird edges as I had on the other one. I don't know if you guys noticed that when I was doing the papers, but this one's a little bit odd how it sticks out, but that's just because this envelope is going around. In this case, it's going around a lot of things. So this could go like this though, and it could go like that, could go like that. I mean, there's just no end to it. So I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.